First, another Russia headline making waves, Russiagate.
Absolutely. A whistleblower claims that in 2023, then Congressman Adam Schiff conspired to leak classified information harmful to Donald Trump, hoping it would indict him. But when Schiff was warned by an unnamed whistleblower this would be illegal, the person was allegedly told not to worry, that they wouldn't be caught.
There's a reason they call him Shifty Schiff.
Wow.
Joining us now, Grace Reilly is an analyst for Restoration of America, and Melanie Collette is a policy analyst for the Committee for a Constructive Tomorrow and former vice chair of the New Jersey Federation of Republican Women. Good morning, ladies. Great to have you.
Good morning. Thank you.
So we're not mincing words. This is a bombshell report. I feel completely validated. I'm sure you do as well, Tom, because we knew Adam Schiff, he got the name Shifty Schiff from somewhere, Melanie. So your reaction to the latest Russiagate investigation?
I don't think anybody is surprised by this. And of course, the left did what the left does and, launched a personal attack. But I don't think this whistleblower is going to risk a federal charge by lying to the feds about this. It was very obvious when this was going on that this was an attack on President Trump trying to get him arrested. That was really clear.
It was.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So Grace, obviously, we all agree that, it's a bombshell report here. Are you surprised about the information now coming out from Mr. Patel about what was really going behind with that deep state?
Well, unfortunately, I'm not surprised, but it is extremely absurd that this happened in our country. And something that tells us all we need to know is that in 2018, Schiff went on ABC and actually put the Russia hoax that he was accusing Trump of next to Watergate, saying that the Russia hoax from Trump was likely just as bad. When it turns out that Schiff personally was involved with approving leaking classified documents that would apparently incriminate Trump into the media. So it's pretty insane corruption. He's corrupt in both his personal life and political life. He's even currently being investigated for mortgage fraud, as we know. So his corruption runs very deep, making this unsurprising, but still extremely unacceptable and unfortunate for the American people.
Yeah, that's a great point, because my thought when you're speaking was character does matter, and what they say about people with character, what you do when people aren't looking is important. So when you're signing mortgage documents allegedly and misleading people, that's an indication of lack of character.
And he's in good company with Attorney General Letitia James, who allegedly did something similar. Melanie, this story is important for many reasons, but also because it really explains the way in which America has put people like Adam Schiff forward, representing us in the intelligence community. He was the ranking member of the House Intelligence Committee. This is someone we should supposedly take at their word, trust them, but this is also something that many Republicans are saying it's never going to result in anything. We have to, the past is the past. We have to move forward. Do you agree with that sentiment? Because yes, there is a lot of items on the agenda to tackle with President Trump in office for only 4 years, but do we try to hold these individuals accountable?
We should hold these individuals accountable. It kills me when people do really bad things, that when the repercussions spin, as Lauryn Hill would say, then now they don't want to move forward. The past is the past, and we're going to pretend like it never happened. Meanwhile, you've left timber and a fire burning and done all kinds of damage. No, there needs to be absolute accountability here, and his constituents should want accountability here. They should be disgusted by the way Adam Schiff has been representing them in this terrible and dishonest way.
That's right.
Very true.
Well, I want to talk about the Democrat Party's plummeting popularity, probably due to a lot of what we just discussed. But according to a new Gallup poll, Democrat Party approval hits a new rock bottom, with just 34% of Americans viewing the party favorably. And zooming in here, Grace, many Democrats in leadership roles are floundering too, with Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer among the hardest hit. A Siena College poll showing Schumer's popularity crashing in New York, with a paltry 38% favorable rating and 50% unfavorable rating among his own state voters. Your take on the Democrats' historically low numbers?
Yeah, well, the Democrats have done a lot of talking and not a lot of action matching it. as far as praising their own policies, but the Americans have seen disastrous results from their policies. We saw under Biden, and so many in Democrat-led states see it every single day. And beyond this, the Democrat Party continues to lean more to the left, which is not helping them. Just last week, Ken Martin, the chair of the DNC, was on a news show saying that he approved and endorsed of socialists being in the party. So the Democrat Party continues to welcome socialist candidates into their party, which are obviously running the direction of the party and are really leading the way that the party is going. And that's just not in alignment with the American people. As they lean more and more to the left, the people are seeing how outrageous this is. I mean, to support candidates that are so radical and are advocating for ideas that are so detrimental, such as socialism, which has a stated goal of communism according to its ideological leaders. I mean, it's just absurd that only ignorance or malintent could be involved in promoting such an ideology. So the Democrats should stop doing this for, the benefit of all people, because no matter who's in power, it's obviously hurting all Americans, all citizens, if those kinds of ideas are put forward.
Yeah, interesting points there, Grace. And to follow up with a question for Melanie here, what I see is, the Democrats keep getting more extreme because their base wants to see fight against President Trump, and that leads to the slippery slope of then having candidates who are extreme, if not socialists. I mean, recently, Mandami here in New York, he did a tour, I think, of the boroughs, and he was going against President Trump.
Yeah.
So it's all against Trump, but that's the emotion. We've also seen Beto O'Rourke. He was on stage there cursing, but they're playing to their radical base, and that's where the energy's coming from. And as a result, I think, as a broader party, they're suffering. But what are your thoughts?
No, I think you're right about that, Tom, because it does not make any sense. If you saw what happened in the 2024 election, how Kamala Harris lost, a big part of the reason was because of letting those loudest voices furthest left in the party speak for her, and then them taking on those policies as part of their campaign. It doesn't make any sense. And you see elected officials and candidates all over the country do that and lose. So you have to wonder why in the world they would continue to go in this direction. It's really stunning. From a campaign perspective, you would think when they did the polls and see that these are 80-20 issues, why would they look at the 20 and go, that's where we want to stand? We want to stand on the side of the 20% and not get elected. None of it makes any sense at all.
I mean, disagree with you 1 point, not 20, maybe 5%, but we could haggle about that later.
Yeah.
Let's turn now to a different issue, President Trump's D.C. plan to clean up the D.C. Speaking on MSNBC, the Reverend Al Sharpton offered his theory about why Trump wants to make D.C. safe again. Take a listen.
There are many cities in between Washington and Chicago, Washington and Oakland. He only chose the black ones. So it is clear what he's trying to do. He's trying to race bait. His own base is very concerned about Epstein. So what do? You go throw your base red meat. Let's go back into race thing. All the blacks are breaking the crime, breaking the law. We need to go in. It's race baiting.
Hard not to laugh here. Grace, someone's saying race baiting, and he's the one who always does race baiting. What do you think about his comments with respect to President Trump's effort to try to clean up and make D.C. safer?
Exactly. Well, the Democrats taking the stance that all of a sudden it's a bad thing to make our nation's capital safer may be an indication of why their approval rating is so low. Because, of course, President Trump's move to clean up D.C., make it safer, is one that helps all Americans and is not political. This is a win for everyone to try to make our nation's capital safer. And there's no question that it is not a safe place. Both tourists and people who live there alike would say that. Statistics show that a majority of residents would say that safety is a concern and that they would consider their safety at a either serious or moderate risk. So there's no question that crime is high there. Stats are showing it has some of the highest violent crime in the world. I mean, it's pretty crazy, of capitals in the world, I should say. But it's pretty crazy that the Democrats have decided to take the position that that's a bad thing. they would be better to unite with Republicans on this, all work together, and approve of what President Trump is doing, especially since everyone seems to have forgotten that D.C. is already under federal control and of federal responsibility. So Trump is just doing his job here, and it is a win to be getting our nation's capital safer.
Yeah, I wonder what the mother of the congressional intern, Eric Jackham, would say about that and Al Sharpton's commentary.
Yeah.
I do want to get to this, Melanie. In news that could potentially sway young voters and libertarians, President Trump confirmed this week that his administration will consider reclassifying cannabis as a less dangerous drug. Your reaction, would this be the right move?
I'm going to tell you, I don't like this move at all. I'm not a fan. I think if he was going to do something like this, that you have to revisit the type of cannabis that's out in the market today. It's a lot stronger than back when my parents were growing up in the 70s. It's a lot stronger, a lot more toxic, way more addictive. So if you're going to reclassify, but I also know that there are people for whom it helps. There are people who suffer from pain and anxiety and things like that. And they say that's really helpful. So I think we have to re-examine the types of cannabis and also think about how we're going to regulate it, much like alcohol. Maybe you have to be 21 or something like that. I don't know. I don't love the whole drug culture, the whole drug idea, but I do think it has its benefits. And I hope if he does this, that he does it very carefully. And also, quality of life issues. Like if you go into Manhattan, it smells like weed immediately when you step out of the car. It's terrible. In any city nowadays. So that's the other matter. I think if you're going to put restrictions on it when you reclassify it, maybe, but I don't love it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Manhattan smelling like marijuana everywhere you go. It's absolutely disgusting. Grace, Reilly, Melanie, Colette, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.